Hello everyone, this is UC. It is Saturday, February 26th, just a little afternoon. So let us get started and review some of the charts. So QQQ, right? Weekly chart, we saw a big move down this earlier part of this week and then a rally towards the end to take it all the way back up towards the level where it broke down from, right? So let us evaluate the price structure. We're still, from technical price action perspective, we're still making lower highs, right? Even we saw this big bounce hammer bar, but it's a lower high and a lower low in the weekly time frame, right? So from that perspective, trend remains down. Unless we start seeing some follow through to the upside, well, that's another story, right? We'll see what happens in the daily time frame, but we saw a nice bounce from the previous support structure, right, which was right here, and we exactly bounced from that area. If we had gotten below that, then we would be seeing this 299 or 300 to 310 area as the support level, and I have actually an alert over there as well to kind of get long for a swing trade if we get there, right? Let's get into a daily time frame. Okay, still again the higher time frame remains sort of low, right? It keeps on going down or up, we'll find out, but this is the trend line that it needs to break above to get somewhat neutral to slightly bullish, right? This was the level it was struggling to break down from, and then once it broke down, and now we made a move back up. So this is the level to watch initially towards the start of next week, 346 area, how it acts around that, and then this trend line, right? It needs to get above this trend line to go and touch the top of these, sort of a double top right here, right from the mid next last week around 357. That would be the tell. If we start getting above that, then definitely that is getting higher highs, lower, higher lows. Structure would start changing towards the bullish side, right? For right now, higher time frame remains towards the downside. Similar chart, SPY as well. It's saw a nice follow through on Friday that got the price back into this 438 area resistance from a few days ago, right here. So if we can get above that towards this trend line as a target, that would be nice to see some nice move to the upside. So we'll see if it can get above 438 and then 441 to target this higher price towards the downtrend line, right? And then we'll evaluate at that time whether it wants to take a pause or if it is going to roll back down towards the downside, right? In the weekly time frame, SPY, let me clear out the chart here. Again, hammer bar, just back to where it broke down from. So we'll see if it gives us a little follow through on the upside for weekly time frame like it did a few weeks ago. But right now the trend is down, like the technical price structure is still down because you are making lower highs. Okay. Individual charts are also sort of mimicking the same structure and shape, right? For Amazon, we saw a breakdown, right? A few weeks ago over here, and then earnings, we saw the pop to take it back towards this back test of this trend line. Couldn't really get above that, rolled over, and then we saw a move back towards the structure low and then back up, and sort of in the middle area right now of this recent price action. So the pivot can be around 3080. You can use that as a pivot, right? Because we have top wicks above that, and we have this first bottom wick here. So that's sort of the fight area between bulls and bear. Above 3080, sure, we keep bullish somewhat stance. Below that, we remain under pressure, right? And in the daily time frame, or even actually let's go in the 4-hourly, just this trend line, this intraday trend line can be the first test for bulls to see if we can get above this right here, around just below 3150, right? 3144 or something like that can be the number. Let's see what it is. about 31, 33, 31, 34, right? That's the number. So we'll see if it can get above 31.10, push it above 31.34, then we can see higher. Maybe it wants to make some sort of a shoulder kind of a thing like that. But most of the chart structures look like that. Apple, really impressive bounce. Seriously. I mean, this was, if you scroll out, like maybe on a weekly chart, this exactly bounced from its weekly trend line support, right? So usually those are the areas which we can call green boxes, because that's a good area to swing against, because your risk is low and your reward is tilted towards the higher side, right? So we'll see if this gives us a follow through towards the trend line here, at least as a first test for bulls, to see if they can kind of push it all the way up above 166.7, because that was the level I was considering sort of work, because people look at Apple as sort of the proxy for a lot of tech names. So as we gave up this level, and now we saw a big bounce right from the trend line, but it's still below 166.7. So unless or until we start seeing prices get above that level, it's hard to be aggressively bullish. That's all I can say. Right? Yes, you can play towards this trend line, but don't be aggressively bullish, because it can just roll over and go towards the trend line again. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, Tesla, everyone's favorite, at least mine is. Let's go to weekly. So we did see the breakdown, right? This was sort of a bear flaggish. We saw a nice move to the downside, made plenty of profits on that move down, and then it kind of bounced back up, but still below the trend line, right? You gotta kind of keep that in mind. It's still below that bearish breakdown structure, right? Which was 857. So as long as it's below 857 or even 860, something like that, it's in the bearish territory. It can just roll over from here as well, because we have this selling pressure right here. So if I go to daily time frame, it can give us a little bit of better view. Again, this channel down, right? It needs to get above this channel to get somewhat neutral to bullish. Right now, this was the breakdown that we played, right? We saw a nice bounce up, but that bounce really did not give any big follow through to the upside on Friday, right? When the rest of the market was relatively strong. This is a doji bar, right? It's not really convincing me that we are out of the woods here yet. So 835 to 857 is sort of the resistance zone, because that's the level it broke down from right over here. So now that becomes our initial target on the upside. That's a downtrend line as well, in case we see the move up, but that's a good short area as well to consider as a back test of this trend line. Down channel, price, which was support, now can act as resistance. So multiple ways that you can look at it, but I would be shorting the stock here, I think, because it's just a good risk and reward. If it goes up, sure, it stops you out, but the risk is less. That's what you have to manage. That's the thing. A lot of people ignore that stuff. Let's look at NVDA. Let's go into daily time frame. Oops, not that one. So still, again, we had these top rates, right? We remember playing these, calling this in our weekly video last time, that this was the selling pressure. So that was a good indication, because we saw a nice little move to the downside towards the recent structure low, which was right here, and it exactly bounced from there, right? So these levels do have some value, some meaning toward to them, right? That you can consider them in your trading. Daily time frame, this is the downtrend line, right? We still have that downtrend line to get above to start feeling a little bit more bullish. Right now, more money was made towards the downside, right? Yes, we saw a big bounce on Thursday and a tiny cute little follow through on Friday, but nothing too impressive, right? So we'll see. But on the upside, I would look for this level around 250. I think that's what it is on the next other chart. Yeah, around 250. Yeah, let's round it up to see if it if you can see a push towards that and maybe target 253, and that's where I would be selling. I won't be holding long if I'm playing the bounce here. I won't be holding until, I mean, I won't hold above 253 because that's where the downtrend line comes in. So take profits or convert to short and see if you can play a little pull, retrace back towards 252 or 242 if you get there. Okay, so that's how you become tactical. You just kind of play both sides, see which one is playing out, like that. And if I look at this 30-minute view, it can give some sort of a head and shoulder, right? With this area being the neckline, 252, 242, 245 area. If we can get above that initial resistance, yeah, I think 250 to 253 can come in fast. Okay, so just keep that in mind. As long as we're holding 234 here, somewhat bullish, I would say. Okay. All right, let's look at some of other names like SQ. Oh my God, this was a good trade. I did not hold it because I saw some profits and I just banked. But this was a good green box area to get long around 84. We had been watching that level. I've been telling you all that level for so long now. And the reason was simple, right? We have these two touch points right here that act as a resistance. It broke out above that, so it was testing that level. There was no way it was not going to bounce from there, at least on first touch, right? Which it exactly did from 84 area. So I think I booked my profit around 97, 94 area, and then it rallied after that because of the earnings. Okay, let's look at a couple other green box names. Nike. Okay. Oh God. See, I have a alert here to get me to look into getting long, but I think it did not trigger because I had it right somewhere around 130, but it just turned back above, just a little short of that. So I think I kind of missed that trade, but if it comes back down there, I'll definitely consider it again because, but you can see if you had played here in the green box, this was a good area to go long because we have such a nice support structure here that it was not just going to break down from here in the first go. It was going to give you at least one bounce from there. So that's how you kind of time it. MDB, again, I think my alert, I have put that back in there, but I did not get long on this one. But again, it would have given you a good bounce if you had considered, right? I think I was just not paying attention, but anyways, this played out nice as well. You have this double bottom right at the uptrend line, right? If I zoom out, it was a nice level, right? You can see you have these three touch points right there. 1, 2, and 3. So good bounce. Okay. Let's look at another one. Costco. Okay, I'm still waiting for that price to get there. So we'll see if it gets there. It did break down from there, traded around that 470 area, but I was trying to see if it get back down there again. Or actually, this is not a bad, if it doesn't come here, I think this is also a nice area right here, something like that. If you want to take an initial position here at around 450, I think you can see a nice little bounce from there. Okay, so something to consider. Roku. Yeah, if this was also at a long-term uptrend line, this green trend line, and now it just kind of bounced, gave us an inside week. I'm still not convinced. This was an inside week. Let's see how it. If we start the week on the weakness and then it starts going back above the high of this inside week, that can be a good long trigger. I really think so. Let's take a look at one more. Let's take a look at futures. Yeah, that's the name I trade a lot. So the weekly time frame, again, it mimics the QQQ chart a lot, right? We did see the breakdown of this bearish flag, that we have on the screen right here, like this. And then it bounced back up. So nice recovery, but still, it needs to start giving us some bullish follow through to the upside. That means that the price structure is holding, bulls are holding the position, and they're just not, getting run over by bears because of the supply that can come up here. So we'll see Here's the trend line to look for, the down trend line, as your first target, initial target, if it starts to move back up. But I would be careful here, just because we had so much structure here as the support. And now, yes, we did bounce. We did see a little bit of follow through on Friday, but I don't know. I'll just see how the Monday closes the day, right? Does it give us a top wick? Because if it gives us a top wick right there after a rally or something like that, that's a very bearish sign that this trend line is coming into play. And people who got stuck on this recent breakdown, right? The people who got stuck holding the long when this price broke down, they will see this opportunity to just book the profits, take whatever money they can save and just sell, and that can add the pressure. So we'll see if that plays out in the lower time frame or something like that. If I look at 30-minute chart, it is giving somewhat of neutral or inverted head and shoulder kind of a play as well. But with this whole 14,200 as sort of the neckline right here. So if it needs to get above that, sure, I can target this downtrend line towards 14,400. But if we get a top wick that sells off, we can kind of roll back down. All right. Thank you guys for watching this videos. And if you have any questions, anything like that, please reach out. I'll be more than happy to talk. Thank you. Bye.